Next up is number 501. This world is not conclusion. I really love this one a lot. I think it's a fascinating work. This world is not conclusion. A species stands beyond, invisible as music, but positive as sound. It beckons and it baffles. Philosophy don't know, and through a riddle at the last sagacity must go. So it's sort of this idea of like, this world isn't the end, there's something beyond, but we as humans, we make all these attempts to try to understand it. We use things like science, we use things like, scholasticism, we try being wise or having sagacity or philosophy, but ultimately, we can't figure it out. Right, but we're puzzled by it. It says to guess it puzzles scholars, to gain it men have borne contempt of generations and crucifixion. Like we've died and like suffered and all these things to try to figure out what happens and try to come up with answers. But man, we just struggle and struggle and struggle. And here again we see her sense of irony. Right, it says, plucks at a twig of evidence and asks a vane the way, right? So it's like the idea of you ask a weather vane the way, because a weather vane tells the direction the wind is blowing, right? But then she also loves puns. So there's the idea that it's like, oh, it's vanity, right? And asks a vane the way, that to even try to know the answer is vain because it's hopeless, it's ridiculous. And it's very reminiscent, Dickinson knew the Bible very well. It's very reminiscent of in Ecclesiastes, where it's all talking about how all of life is vanity and all of the things that we do and try to figure things out and the possessions that we have and the answers that we come up with. It's just vanity, 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 right? And she makes this play on a weather vane here. And then ultimately, she says, much gesture from the pulpit, strong hallelujahs roll, narcotics cannot still the tooth that nibbles at the soul. So that basically we go to church and we try to find answers. We have all these things, but even drugs, even narcotics cannot still the tooth that nibbles at the soul, that uncertainty, that lack of answer, that even if we take drugs to try to dull the desire for knowledge, that our answerlessness continues to plague us all the more, and that there's nothing that we can do about it.